Hello everyone, how you all doing? I'm PS. Welcome to another video. This is the Demoscene report for the month of September of 2022. Went through all of the different Demoscene news forums and chat places and collected all of the different information on what just been recently released on the Demoscene, and I'm digesting it here on this video just for you. Everything is linked on the descriptions below, so go check that out. And I also made a playlist with all the YouTube videos that I could find with all of the Demoscene releases that have been released in this month for you to check out. If you just want to check out the releases, you can go directly there. So let's get right into it. Demoscene report September 2022. First things first, we should talk about Demoscene related media, which is all of the different things that have been released, mostly videos about the Demoscene in some shape or form. The first one that I have to mention is Flashback Radio. DJ Demon has been steadily doing weekly shows. He has released 4 more during the month of September. This one in particular, Dancing in September, is number 104. He also released 105, 106, and 107. 107 is called Catching Up on the Demoscene. So yeah, if you like tracked music and you want to hear a radio podcast with featuring tracked music, please check out Flashback. Then another thing that also came to my attention, I already talked about it with Hoffman at some point, but this was a YouTube video that kind of popularized it a bit more. The PicoGUS is out using a Raspberry Pi Pico. This gentleman here, who goes by the name of Polpo, I believe, did an emulation of the GUS card, and you can use it to emulate what the GUS card sounded like and use it as an ISA card in your old school Windows/MS-DOS machine. It's also an open source project, so you can check out the stuff there as well. And yeah, this video talks a little bit about the project, and if you want to have the sound of the GUS and have been having trouble finding a Gravis voltage sound, this is a nice thing to check out. Another thing that I have to mention is FairLight TV's continuous releases of new stuff. This time an interview with Kenny Magnusson, divided into 2 parts, both of them released early in September. What else? I found this video, which is very interesting, using a Minecraft redstone thing, which lets you program the behavior. They made an emulator of Minecraft running inside Minecraft. And this, for me, it felt very Demoscene-like, like taking a platform, trying to make something run on that platform. Minecraft is so popular with mostly young kids, but teenagers as well. Well, some grown-ups also play Minecraft, but it's really cool to see different stuff, and this completely shouted Demoscene for me, so I thought I must show it, even though it's not a like Demoscene stamped seal of approval on it. It totally reminds me of what Demoscene is all about, and I wouldn't be surprised if someone could do a demo out of it. It's not running real time. It's like captured frame by frame, needs to be ultra accelerated, but still very interesting project of people trying to push the limits of what Minecraft engine can do. Then there was a lot of talks about AI innovation that's been happening recently with Midjourney, DALL-E, and all the different things. A lot of people have been posting about images made using artificial intelligence. There was some discussion on Poet about it, if it should be banned from the regular artist compos or not. I'm going to avoid the discussion on this video. I'm just going to show you this video in particular made by a Demoscener using different kind of AI graphics. Done with keywords, got an image, a lot of different images, and he made a video out of it. So you can do some art with AI and still be considering it art and not just a hack. Either way, complicated subject, AI, and I really don't want to get into it, so I'm going to move on to the next stuff. Project F, FPGA development. So this fella been doing an FPGA to try to do some Demoscene stuff into it, being able to render shapes and things directly on the hardware. Interesting project if you like FPGAs and trying to explore them. You might want to check out this project. There's been another update after this one as well. This was on the 11th of September. There was another one a couple days ago, not necessarily graphics based, but still regarding FPGA development and trying to do more stuff with FPGAs. What else? We have the new item of ZINE podcast number 25, a very cool interview with Tobach, mostly asking Tobach what it's like to be a newcomer in the demo scene, his first demo party, that kind of stuff. It's really cool. I knew Tobach for a while. We did a collaboration before, so it was cool to see that being mentioned as well. But yeah, overall, I think it's a very interesting episode for you to check out. What else? Still talking about Tobach. He did what's it called? Well, it says breakdown, so I'm going to use that word. A breakdown of the track that he released at Nova, abusing the limitations of MIDI. He did a few tricks, trying to get sounds out of MIDI that shouldn't be happening, and he talked about it a little bit on that podcast interview, and then he ended up deciding to make a video explaining the whole thing properly, and this is the video. So you have it here. If you like MIDI and hacking MIDI capabilities to do sounds that MIDI was not supposed to do, it's a nice video to check out. More hacky things on the demo scene. There was this video released showing the VGA palette use of Second Reality, a classic PC demo on this day and age. Also worth checking for the curious use of palette that they had. The Second Reality source code was open sourced quite a few years ago, like 10 years ago maybe, or 12. So it wasn't very hard to pull off having this available, but I think it's still very interesting to check out. More stuff. Recently became aware of this book about the ZX Spectrum demo scene. They interviewed Yerzmyey, actually it was written by Yerzmyey, Hellboj, and Piotr Marecki. There was an interview with Gasman in it as well. This was originally Polish, but I think it's translated into English. This was released a few years ago, 2020. It's written right there, but I only became aware of it now, and I thought I should mention it as well. If you convert this zlotys to euros, it's about €7, so it's pretty affordable to get yourself a copy and check out if it's interesting or not. Haven't read it yet, but it looks very interesting. Especially, I'm particularly interested in the Spectrum scene because I had a Spectrum when I was a kid and I did some Spectrum stuff as well. So yeah, worth checking out. More stuff. In the United States, there was this event being organized by a few demo sceners also involved. Trickster of Hornet was involved in organizing it. Vintage Computing, I don't know what the F stands for, Midwest. And there were quite a few talks. If you scroll down, I actually linked to the playlist with all the talks, so you can see them here. A lot of different talks. I picked this one in particular because it has inverse phase talking about different chiptune machines that are available. But if you like retro computing in general, there are a lot of interesting talks here listed that you can check out. More stuff worth mentioning. Demovibes number 14 has been out in memory of Maf, demo scener, mostly active on the Amiga a few decades ago. But French demo scener and sorely missed. He died during September 2022. Condolences to his family, and will be decided to do this special edition of Demovibes featuring some music from MAF as a sort of memory nostalgia trip. It's in memory of MAF, but it also has music from some more modern demos. So it's not just a retro about MAF playlist. It starts with MAF, but then goes into what the usual Demovibes usually is. What else? Just today there was this article released by KB, how to do a proper 3D anaglyphic thing, because they have this compo anaglyphic 3D compo at Deadline, which is coming just in a couple of days, and some people still have some lack of knowledge on the best way to take advantage of it, and what are the differences in terms of resolution. If you're doing something in 4K, it's quite different from doing something like in Commodore 64 resolution. So you need to be careful of some stuff. KB is quite knowledgeable on these things, and he finally decided to do a write down on all the stuff. So if you are interested in knowing more about anaglyphic and 3D, or those fake 3D modes, make sure to check out his article. And last thing about Demoscene related media that I wanted to mention was the HTML5 Bytebeat update. If you don't know what HTML5 Bytebeat is, it's a page maintained by Gregman where you can hack some function to make music out of it, shifting bytes around. And he did a few updates to it. He has a visualizer on it. He has some library of old music that you can check. And I'm going to try to click it and hope that things don't break. I'm going to stop here before you have noise. So usually you see the formula is right here, and you can change it and have stuff you can affect the stuff directly with it. And you can also have like now a library of all the things that were ever mentioned, so you can check what other people have been doing throughout the years. And you have like the little formulas that you can play around and see the different effects. So I think it's a really cool update, a really good quality of life. It's a very niche thing on the demo scene, but definitely worth playing around with. I did quite a few of these things, and I even used some of these Bytebeat formulas on JavaScript 1Ks and 4Ks. And that's it in terms of Demoscene related media. Let's move on to the next category on this video, which is the out of Compo releases that were released. So hold on a second. Shortcuts stopped working because they also do something inside the editor. So yeah. The first release that I wanted to talk about was Debris by Polpo Corrosivo, doing 40K for the Amstrad CPC, which got quite a few good reviews. Next up we have Pico Patch by Moonshine, was a little tracker made for the Pico 8, which not many people been paying attention for. So if you're a Pico 8 developer, this might interest you. Go check it out. Then we had BBS for Mac OS, which you don't see much. First, because most of the BBSs were done in the late 90s or early 90s even, when there was only MS-DOS or Amiga or Apple II. I think Apple II also supported BBSs. So it's very rare that we see new BBS-tros, that's what they're called, they're intros to a BBS, in 2022, and even weirder that it runs on Mac, because Mac wasn't traditionally a computer known for having, you know, connections to the BBS, but BBSs nowadays you can connect to them via a browser, so you can pretty much do your invitation anywhere. It's not a particularly interesting BBS, so it's just funny because it's done on a Mac and released in 2022. But yeah, by all means, someone please make more BBS tros, and it's awesome that people still run BBSs this day, and you can still use the boards on the BBSs and get in touch, and it's a little bit of a nostalgia trip, which is very interconnected with the demo scene. Anyways, more releases that came out. There were some demo packs released for Atari, the compiling Silly Venture releases, both of them made by Jack, one for the summer edition of Still Adventure and one for the winter edition of Still Adventure. There were also some demo packs for the Amiga released by the Electronic Knights, putting together the Amiga releases that came out earlier in, well, not earlier, during the summer of 2022. Crapbox 13 and Crapbox 14. Those were pretty much the main Demoscene releases out of the compo that I took aware of. One or two might have slipped through my eyes. So if you have seen any out of compo release that should have been mentioned, by all means, let me know on the comments. Let's move on to the next category that we have, which is covering the actual parties that took place. In the first party that we should cover is called Access and Abyss Connection. It's a party for the Commodore 64 happening in Germany. And yeah, few different demo releases. I checked out Final Fantasy VI by Access and Cutscene Video by Raiders of the Lost Empire. Both of them were pretty cool, but a lot of stuff by Access as well, or wouldn't this be an Access party? Some nice graphics as well, which I'm trying to open. So yeah, worth checking out overall. I do recommend it, Access party. And I should know that it's Alt back. I remembered the shortcut this time. So yeah, a small little party, but still with a lot of stuff worth checking out, especially if you're into Commodore 64 stuff. Then we have a Chimpbembly, which I guess is a mix between chimp and assembly, and it was happening in Finland. Small little party as well, not many releases in it, but I particularly liked Miami, played by Tatjuo. Had this vaporwave vibe to it. It was pretty good. The music was on point. The graphics was on point. Nothing overwhelmingly spectacular about it, but it was a nice little intro. And you know, even small parties deserve your attention. You can always find some hidden gem in it. Hiki by Iso must be a great demo, as every demo by Iso is very much worth watching. Moving on to another party, we had Function, which was, this one I managed to follow the live stream of. It was pretty well organized. One of the best organized parties that I've seen this year, even. And a lot of good releases came out of it. Veritas on the 256-byte intro compo in particular dominated the competition, but it was a very good 256-byte competition overall, with a lot of releases by old people, old legends and newcomers alike. So really cool to see. Combined intro compo was also quite packed with releases. It had the funny thing, which they didn't mention the size of the intro. It just said that it was combined, but we didn't know if it was like a 1K, a 4K, an 8K, a 64K. So for every entry, people were randomly trying to guess what was the size of the actual production. Overall, it didn't matter much on the voting because there was only one 64K at the end of the day. False 3 was a pretty good winner, in my humble opinion, by Dilemma. Singularity Water Reservoir was also pretty solid. Should definitely check both of these out. Demoscene, the demo compo was also quite good. Not many entries, as it's unfortunately starting to be a bit common in most editions of Function, but all of them with very decent quality. Numbers was a very funny joke release, making a joke out of the Numbers demo from FairLight, but very short, made its point, was funny, didn't overstay its welcome. Midlife Crisis was a good comeback demo by Crisis Productions, who have people who have been away for over 20 years. They decided to come back and start making demos again. The demo wasn't particularly interesting, but it was still worth watching. So welcome back to the Demoscene and hope to see more stuff from you. Third place, we had Digital Dynamite and United Force. Sly Spy doing his usual magic. Very good demo. Then Raw by Natural actually got the second place points by 384, and the Box by Umlaut Design won. But then Gargai on stage, when he received the prize, he decided that Raw by Natural was a better demo than the Box, and told the organizers that they should give the first prize to Raw of Natural, and that is why Raw of Natural is the first place demo. Both of them are really good demos. Raw had this particular concept behind it. I didn't completely get behind it. I got the idea. I liked the mood. I liked the execution, but there was something wrong with it which didn't completely convince me about it. I don't want to spoil the concept. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. And then the Box by Umlaut Design was a follow-up demo to his previous Machine demo. Very well synced, very well conceptually thought of. It's we kind of already seen something being done with boxes and cubes, but this was a good take on it, very solidly executed. Good ideas put well into practice, and you have to rewatch it a few times to catch all of the small details. Really cool, and I thought it was a compo winner. I really did, but Gargai thought that Raw should have won, so that's what happened. Let's go back a little bit here. Let's talk about the freestyle graphics compo. Also a few good releases, Gods, Encounter, a lot of good entries. Game development was also pretty solid. In the end, Torque 1, which was like a remake of RC Mania, or Revolt, I think it's called. But the other games were also pretty solid as well, so it was a pretty tight compo. Hand-drawn graphics, not many entries, was won by Dorsey, and second place for Delilah. Comeback, I think she's been away for 13 years, and she made a comeback image, which is pretty good. So welcome back, Delilah, being active again on the demo scene. Always cool to see old people coming back to the demo scene and being active again. Music, we had a lot of good entries. Liquid Venus won by a very small margin, with Commodore 64 music doing, I think, drum and bass kind of sounds on it. Bermigenti by Sly Spy got second place, and Tio got third place. But overall, a very tight competition, as you can see by the votings, and a lot of entries submitted. Old school demo compo is also very tight competition at Function. Some Amiga stuff, some Commodore 64 stuff, some Spectrum demos as well, which didn't get very highly released or very highly ranked, and then Enterprise 128 intro as well. So quite some diversity being shown. I particularly like Mare by Efigenia Lunis, and Skooky Madre, which was a doom metal demo on the Amiga, which was really funny to watch. Fixed Points by Xseed was also pretty good for the Commodore 16+4. Cocktails to Go by Bonsai was also pretty solid, but F20 by Lethargy, they made a lot of references to previous events of Function, and it was pretty much Function tribute demo, but very well executed, very long, a lot of effects, and all of them very on point. So I think it was a worthy winner, all things considered. F20 by Lethargy, and Lethargy been so active on the Commodore 64 scene on the past few years, and they really been doing great work. Old school graphics compo as well, also a lot of good entries there. The winner by Critic Hill, it got a little bit of a controversy because the compo is supposed to be for original works only, and this entry was based on an entry by another person. It's even saying here, original Plague Doctor by Christopher Lowell. Some people were saying that, no, maybe this should be disqualified, but it turns out that Critical had asked permission from Christopher Lowell to do a pixelized version out of it. So if you have copyright permission to use those stuff as references, you're free to use it. So it was a lawful winner at the end. Still very good compo, a lot of quality entries there from Facet, Poison, the Sarge. The Sarge always has some great Commodore 64 stuff. So yeah, very cool compo. You should definitely check out all of the entries, not just skim through it like I did just now. Photo Compo also had quite a few good entries. The main top two were my favorites, Phoenix, Cloud sort of thing, which was pretty cool. Very nice caught, very well caught. I don't know how to say it. And Emperor of the Planet by Lucas Bogus, which was also pretty well taken. A lot of entries on the photo compo as well. Then we had the wild demo animation, which was won by stop motion animation with some paper stuff, which was really cool executed. It had some nice trickery using fire at the end. I didn't like the storyline on it, but overall you cannot deny a lot of work was put into it. Nice compo on the wild demo animation as well, but the main were really the old school demo and the demo competition. So as I said in the beginning, really good quality competitions at Function. The stream was also top notch. I think other parties should definitely take a look at what Function did and aim for Function as their modus operandi, because I think the organization felt pretty much, I'm not going to say flawless, because they did have some bugs here and there. That happens on all of the parties. Overall, I think they were in congratulations for having executed it so well. And yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say about Function this year. Worth visiting for next years and contributing to. Other party that also took place in the month of September was Nordlicht, happening in, I believe, Bremen in Germany. Yep, Bremen in Germany. Let's take a look at the releases that it had. FairLight, the 12-byte intro was filled with different platforms, which was cool. It made for an interesting compo. In the end, Help Poltergeist by Agent 1. And second place to R by Loso of Attention Horror for the Amiga. Small Ashinansi compo, not many entries submitted there. They also had an executable music compo, which didn't have many releases, but at least Virgil always has top quality stuff, so I'm sure at least his entry was good. I did not follow the stream directly, so I haven't heard all of these entries yet. They had a fun compo with some ironing beats, which anything goes in the demo scene. And this was the winner entry, so congratulations to Total Schon. Shit. There we go. And a lot of entries submitted for this. They had the Gravedigger compo as well, where you can go through stuff that has been unreleased for a few years and submit it to this compo. And the Flash Beer game for the Commodore 64 won. On the New School demo competition, 4K from Alcatraz got first place, called Ruthenium, which was quite good quality. I recommend you checking it out. You can't see much of it because the screenshot's not very popular. In second place, there were Chickens from Outer Space, a fast-made demo by RBBS using some AI stuff. And then in fourth place, Cybertopia, also an invitation. I think it's a 4K, but it says demo here, so I guess it's a demo. I remember it being a 4K though, by Team 210. Which was the invitation for a deadline party that's happening in a few days, as I mentioned before. New school graphics, not many entries, but still worth checking out. And then the old school demo combo was won by Abyss Connection with El Ferry for the Amiga. There was also an entry worth mentioning by Cocoon. Very solid demo, 2022 by Cocoon. Using it felt very retro, it felt very 90s, and they're using the crew that used to make demos back in those days. I was particularly interested in seeing Exhale making a comeback in the Demoscene. Not sure if it was just no track by his or if he's actually involved in the Demoscene again, but it would be really cool to see my mate back active again. And Nitric, Rock, and Gil also still making demos, and this was a very solid demo. Why do I keep doing this? Wrong click. Okay. What else? Old school graphics, also some good entries worth checking out, mostly for the Commodore 64. Photo Compo as well. It won with an entry Under the Sea. Streaming music, not many entries. Tracked music, also not many entries. And the Wild Demo Compo was mostly overwhelmed by the Mega Drive music disc released by Titan releasing again for the Mega Drive. And this has the particularity that it's it has an engine, an API, a system, a way that you can include your own mods and compile the thing and upload it to the Mega Drive. So you can have, it's not just a music disc, it's the player for any mods that you can find and have them played on the Mega Drive, because you should be using your Mega Drive for stuff besides just playing games. So yeah, Mod Player by Titan, worthy winner of the Wild competition in my humble opinion. Memories for the Raspberry Pi got second place, and third place Non-Commercial Break #1 by Schadel Production. And that was it for Nordlicht. Nice little party in Germany. Next up, we had Black Birdie happening in Sweden. And unfortunately, I can't show you much about Black Birdie because they haven't uploaded the results yet. There are some releases on Scene.org, but they haven't been uploaded to either Demozoo or Pued, so people haven't really seen them, apart from the people who are at the party place. So yeah, still waiting on results file, and when the results file are up, we might be able to check out the releases. I mean, we can check them out already if you can be bothered, but we don't know what place they got. And there weren't that many releases, at least not uploaded to Scene.org just yet, so waiting on organizers to finish uploading the stuff to Scene.org. But anyways, Black Birdie happened in Sweden. And that's it in terms of parties. Let's take a look at the best releases from the month. Oh, I forgot one thing that's also worth mentioning is the Pico 1K Jam 2022, also worth mentioning. A lot of releases were out for it, some of them made by some demo seniors. I made an entry as well, inviting people for Inertia, but you can see some famous Demoscene names as well hidden here. There was some stuff by Magnusson and a few other people. So yeah, if you like size coding stuff, or if you like the Pico 8, do check out this horde of releases. Brooke also released something. Horde of releases that have been coming out, and the deadline still has 1 day or something, so might even be more coming up in the next couple of days. So as I was mentioning, top of the month, let's take a look at the stuff that has been released. And I prepared a special screen. I did like a script that shows you the screenshot, so it's easier to figure out who is what is what. So the box by Umlaut Design is on first place. First, I should mention that this is month and a half previously, so it also includes some releases released in October and all of the stuff from September. So the box from Umlaut Design released at Function, Biolea released at Xenium at the end of October, the Cocoon demo from Nordlicht, Veritas, 256-byte intro that one Function, the Brie by Pulpo Coborzibo that was released outside of the Compo, Secluded by Altair from Xenium, Mar, the Amiga demo that I mentioned from Function, the mod player from Titan, Reco 7 by Joker, which I actually don't remember where it was. I guess it was Xenium. Yeah, Xenium release. Raw by Nitro from Function, Dream Machine, Raster and Servant. So yeah, all of the different releases that you can check out from different month and a half. And that was the top of the month for this year. If you haven't seen any of these releases, definitely do check it out. If there was some release that came out in September, I didn't quite make it, make sure you go to Poet and upvote your favorite release to make sure that it gets shown and gets the proper love. That takes us to the last item on our agenda, the upcoming parties. There are coming up on the next months. So Deadline and Flash Party are happening this next weekend, 30th of September to 2 of October. You can still submit stuff remotely for Flash Party if you do it today on the release of this day. Stuff for Deadline, I'm not sure what their deadline for remote entries is. But yeah. Then we have an Amiga gathering in Sweden, Cafe Party in Russia, which is very weird situation in Russia, is getting even more politically confusing with all the Putin nonsense and the war. I'm not sure if the party is going to end up being cancelled or not from the talks that I've been having with the organizers. I hope not, but at the same time, Russia is just... anyways, let's move on to some better subjects. On the same weekend, the SAC happening in Denmark, the landmark party of Denmark, having its... I don't know what edition it was, but it's probably like 20th or 25th, something like that. D-Crunch in Poland also happening, focusing on the Amiga. Then we have the Zoo Party happening late October in Finland, focused on the Commodore 64. I think they also accept stuff for other platforms. It's mostly C64 based. Brown Birdie, I guess they're having a remake of Black Birdie. Benediction Coding Party in France. And then next month, Inertia Demo Party and Syntax. And also Demo Splash also recently been announced. So Inertia in Portugal should definitely come because it's the party I'm organizing. Syntax in Australia. If you're in Australia, this is the party to go. It happens every year, and this year is happening again in physical. And Demo Splash in Pittsburgh in the United States, one of the few United States party that's still happening. This one happening in Carnegie Mellon. Carnegie Mellon. Oh, so yeah, those were the highlights that I wanted to give you of the stuff that's been happening of September 2032. I missed anything in particular, let me know in the comments below so I can include it for next month's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if there's any way that I can improve these monthly videos in any shape or form. Other than that, hope you have a great day. Enjoy the rest of the playlist with all the demos listed. See you next video. Bye bye everyone. Take care.